Hey Yeti Club, tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and what better to do with your Valentine than watch a horror movie together. So I'm here today with the top 5 Valentine's Day horror films. Now honestly, any good horror film would be great to watch on Valentine's Day, but I'll only be talking about the movies that are specifically related to Valentine's Day in one way or another. Now I'll be honest, there are less horror movies related to Valentine's Day than I realized, which is how this first movie even makes the list to begin with. So, starting off at number 5, we have Hospital Massacre, made in 1981, also known as X-Ray, also known as Be My Valentine or Else. This one is a poor attempt to cash in on the slasher craze of the 80s. And when I say poor, I mean poor. It's a stretch to find anything redeemable about this movie, even for die-hard slasher fans. I recommend skipping this one and checking out a movie higher up on this list. Coming in at number 4, Valentine, made in 2001. This movie is as straightforward and simple as its title. Popular girls bully the ugly boy as children, so he comes back and kills them all as an adult. It surprisingly has a few big names in it, but the whole thing feels very early 2000s in a bad way. Super basic premise, super basic writing, super basic killer. This one just misses on all points. I'll give it a tiny little bit of credit for the little twist at the end, but it's too little too late for this movie. At the very least, it feels like a real movie, which is more than I can say for Hospital Massacre. Moving on to number 3, we have the 2009 version of My Bloody Valentine. For better or worse, this movie is loaded with 3D moments, because that was the big trend at the time, with gratuitous gore, a couple of pretty high-level actors, and some unfortunately pretty juvenile writing. But if you're interested in seeing every single way you can possibly get murdered with a pickaxe, boy do I have a movie for you. The mystery of who is the killer, while in the end a little predictable, did actually keep me pretty interested, especially near the end with the back and forth plot twists. And while that did redeem the movie a bit, it can only carry it so far on this list. Coming in at number 2 is 2009's Pontypool. While some parts are a bit hard to follow, and at times the writing and acting are a tiny bit lackluster, this movie is actually a really interesting and fresh perspective on the zombie-type virus movie. It doesn't have any real moments of classic scares, but it has some really intense scenes that'll scratch that same scary itch. Overall, a really impressive display of what can be done on a small budget. And that brings us to our winner, number 1, the movie you should be watching this Valentine's Day, the original 1981 version of My Bloody Valentine. Now the 2009 version is only a slightly altered version of this one, but somehow this one just pulls it all off so much better. When this came out, it was actually a decently fresh perspective with some pretty creative kills for its time. And the story fits really well with this era of filmmaking, whereas it felt way too forced in the 2009 version. When it's not trying to lean so heavily on the 3D aspects like the 2009 version did, this story on its own grabs its spot among the classic horror premises. And for that reason, I'm calling this the best Valentine's Day horror movie out there. Let me know if you agree with my list, or if you think I missed something that could dethrone My Bloody Valentine. Thanks for watching, and until next time, voice the colors.